Hey folks, CMS here, and I hope that you and your loved ones are having an epic day. I wanted to continue my interview series for Cooking with Salesforce by talking with a hardworking, successful man whose name is Vijaykumar Gite. He lives in Mumbai and for the past year has been serving as a customer relationship manager for the Kotak Life Insurance Company. Kotak Life has been around for a very long time and has over 200 branches. And Vijay Kumar is responsible for business process improvements, and he uses data to devise sales growth. In fact, his ability to leverage data in a meaningful way resulted in 119% revenue growth for his company in just 1 year, generating revenues of 20 million US dollars. Vijay Kumar connected with me on the LinkedIn platform, and he connected with me from across the globe, and he agreed to join me for a very interesting discussion about life in Mumbai and his connection to Salesforce. We engaged in some very lively bilateral digital acculturation, so let's go check out the interview. So, Vijay, we met on LinkedIn, the world's largest professional business networking site, and I took an interest in you, okay, because you're interested in something that really I'm deeply involved in, and that's a big part of my business life, and that's Salesforce Cloud Customer Relationship Tools. I asked you to have this candid interview unscripted, and I know that made you uncomfortable, right? A little bit.
First of all, thank you for inviting me on your YouTube channel.
You're welcome.
And that's a really great opportunity for me.
Oh, you're most welcome. It's a great opportunity for me to learn from you as well. I wanted to get a greater understanding of why people like yourself want to use Salesforce and want to learn Salesforce skills. But before we do that, I want to get a little bit of information about you. Of course, I read your profile, but you live in Mumbai.
Right.
It's a nice place, right? Please talk a little bit about your life and your career there.
Yeah, so Mumbai is the financial capital of India, one of the most populated, but one of the most loving city in India and also in the world. So it is also ranked with the cities like Dubai, Sydney, Melbourne. So it's the most happening place, and it will take almost a year for you to explore Mumbai. There are a lot of beaches, there are a lot of pubs, and a lot of memorials which you can visit. And then coming to my professional career there, so currently I'm doing my MBA program from SPGen School of Global Management. So it is in Singapore. So they have campuses in Singapore, Sydney, and Dubai. So each term we have to spend 4 months in each of the global cities. And prior to that, I was working with Kotak Life for 1 year, and prior to that, it was with Vodafone for almost 3.7 years. So both the profiles were into B2B sales, managing key accounts, looking after the service part, and trying to find out new opportunities which can help me to improve the revenue of my organization.
Well, that's fantastic. So you said something that was really interesting to me. You said Mumbai has lots of pubs. I love beer, so I have to be honest. I love to drink beer. I love to drink cocktails too. But so do people do a lot of business at pubs, or because in America, if we're going to have a meeting, we'll have a drink or something. We might have a meeting at the bar or at the pub, and we might have a little meeting. Is it the same in Mumbai?
So I'll tell you a secret of Indian business.
Yes, tell me the secret.
If you're able to get your client with a drink, and then it's deal it's through, you'll able to crack the deal. So because what happens is when you have a drink with any customer, it's not legally right, but then it helps you to create a bonding beyond your business relationship. Right. So in India, not only having drinks on the table, but also attending the festive occasions at their home, attending the celebrating the ceremonies or anniversaries or birthdays. That really helps to build a relationship with your customers.
Well, Vijay Kumar, I'll tell you that's universal across, I think, all business. I mean, I've traveled all over the world, and I feel like you have just reaffirmed what I really already have experienced in my travels, which is people like to have a good time. I mean, business should be fun, right? I mean, it
Right,
shouldn't be boring. You should love your job and have a great time with it.
right,
So, okay, let's talk about Salesforce a little bit more in detail. Um,
right.
you know, I'm curious, and I'm going to step aside for a second and take a tangent.
Mhm.
How is COVID-19 affecting life in Mumbai right now?
So, as you've read news, and as per the WHO, India is the third largest affected country in due to COVID-19. And if I have to say, in India, Maharashtra, where the Mumbai is located, is the most affected state, and the most contributing city in Maharashtra is Mumbai. So it's like almost there are almost 2 lakh cases there, and Delhi we will find 11,000 to 13,000 cases in Mumbai. But then there are a lot of testing going on. So plasma technology has been used to tackle COVID. So it's a bit difficult here in Mumbai. As I said, India is third country which is badly affected due to COVID. So from the business perspective, only the essential services are being allowed to operate. Rest all the businesses have to connect with the clients digitally, or either through Zoom or Google Meet or Microsoft Teams
Or Salesforce?
or a Salesforce. Yeah,
Well, we are doing the Salesforce channel interview, so cooking with
yeah,
Salesforce.
yeah.
That's very interesting. And do you feel like uh, I guess my question really boils down to why we got connected in the first place. Did COVID-19 cause you to look into Salesforce because businesses need to do more remote work? Is that why you were curious about it?
Not exactly, but definitely COVID-19 is the reason why I'm learning Salesforce or improve my knowledge related to Salesforce. Basically, as I said, I'm pursuing my global MBA degree, and
Good for you, by the way. Good for you.
yeah, that's great for us. But then that's a later story. I can definitely, we can have a separate chat on that.
We should.
Yeah. So almost we have to spend 4 months in each of the city. So I've completed my 4 months in Singapore and 4 months in Sydney, and we were about to enter into Dubai for our last semester, which was of 4 months. But then due to COVID, we have to take a break of 4 months. Now, what to do in these 4 months? So I started looking at the companies which are coming to recruitment, or are probable employers for me. And then when I went through all these details, I found that most of the companies which are coming, or most of the global companies, use Salesforce as the CRM tool. So this is one of the skills which one must have, and I've used Salesforce from the sales angle, but I haven't used it from the marketing angle, or from the administrative angle. So I thought I should have a knowledge of all the domains which Salesforce is providing. As it's a wonderful tool, helps you to interact with your customer, helps you to market your products very well. So it's a great tool to have within the organization, and to have a knowledge of.
Well, thank you for that. And this is our first time speaking, but you sound like me. I'm always telling people, "Oh, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Check it out." But I've been using Salesforce for 20 years,
Yeah,
and it's interesting how something you have been doing for 20 years suddenly becomes so critical to operating a business overnight. It's like an
yeah,
overnight thing. So you work for Kotak Life, which I understand is a life insurance company.
right.
Now, this is kind of a serious, morbid question, but I'm very curious. I'm always curious.
Yeah.
Has COVID-19 like prompted so many more people to buy life insurance? I mean, what's going on with life insurance?
Yeah. So life insurance has seen a lot of increase in their sales. It has definitely prompted, but I'll say it has prompted to the health insurance piece, which is the general, which comes into the general insurance. Now, I'll give an example of myself. So, my wife didn't have health insurance, but looking at the serious condition of COVID, I prompted her to go for a health insurance. And this is the same case for every Indian. It's always better to have some insurance. And I'm not sure whether to share this, but then last week my father had a heart attack, so we need to had his angioplasty done. So this insurance help us to have the necessary financial support.
Well, I'm glad your father has been through this and he's alive. I'm glad that he made it, and I'm glad that he has support from you. I'm sorry to hear that he had a heart attack, and that's very unfortunate. A lot of folks they don't make it from a heart attack, and it's good that he has your support. What's your father's name?
So he's Pundelik Vittal Gite. He's an ex-government official. He was working with the forestry department.
My prayers go out to him, and hopefully he'll have a speedy recovery. I know that technology is great right now, and even Salesforce offered free tools, no charge, for the medical professionals during this time to help with a lot of these emergencies and to help support data and big data management for large hospitals and people who are first responders. So Salesforce was offering free tools to assist people who are providing these essential health services. So, I'm sure a lot of those database tools that Salesforce provided have been life-saving and have helped people, such as your father, through the process of getting treatment and records management and things like that. And I don't think everybody's aware of this, but you can use Salesforce not just from the user interface, but you can also build applications on top of the database and run an application. You can transition your business from a previous system to Salesforce database, and nobody even noticed that there was a change. You can just connect to it, and add Salesforce as the back end. Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that. You're looking at Salesforce as a tool. Vijaykumar, I've got to ask this question, and this is not really a Salesforce question.
Mhm.
You speak 4 languages: English, German, Hindi, and the Western Indian language Marathi.
Yeah.
But no Urdu? You don't speak Urdu?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I do know some words, but I haven't mastered it. So
Right.
even German is level 1. So
Okay, that's okay.
So mostly into English, Hindi, and Marathi.
Okay, well, isn't English the national language of India mostly?
No, Hindi is the national language.
Hindi is the national language. Okay.
And regional language is Marathi. And then for business communication, we use English.
And I think Marathi is spoken by almost 90 million people or 80 million people. Is that correct? And
True.
Interestingly, in America, we never hear this language, rarely. So I was studying, I was getting ready for our interview, and I realized that this is a big language. It's nothing small, but nobody ever talks about it in America. We don't hear it. I'm sure people speak it in America. So with 4 languages, this is what I had to know the answer to this. When you know 4 languages, and when you go to sleep at night, what language do you dream in?
So it's basically into regional language, that is Marathi.
Okay, so you dream in Marathi. Okay. So, Vijaykumar, what else would you like to talk about with regard to Salesforce? And by the way, thank you for taking my course. You said that you took the Salesforce for Marketers course on the LinkedIn Learning Library. And thank you for taking that course. There are other courses by myself and other authors. Hopefully you'll have the time to look at them. But what else would you like to talk about?
Yeah, so basically, first coming to your course. So when I was looking at course, so I said it is 1.5 hours, so I'll complete probably in 2 hours. But no, that wasn't the case. The reason was the course is very well articulated. The examples which are given in the course are really helpful. So I didn't know that there is an app exchange which helps you to integrate your backend system and helps you to communicate with your customers. Then there is a community which helps you to solve your queries. And I tried to post one of my queries, and you won't believe that I got a revert in 5 minutes. So that's the speed and simplicity with which Salesforce work with. And if I have to say from employees and from the employer perspective, if it's a company, it helps you to have an interface which will help your team to come together, engage with your customer with 360 angle, helps you to keep track of your new leads, opportunities, where they are going. And the most feature, the one of the feature which I really liked is the custom reports. So you have all the database as an employee. As an employer, you want to see that which is the account manager who is doing really well. You do not have to wait for MIS system or MIS officer to give you the report or pull from some server. It's already there in your database. You just need to create a custom report which hardly takes 2 or 3 minutes to generate. And another big advantage is that you can export it into Excel, and then you can do whatever pivots you want, and have a presentation within 10 to 15 minutes. And from the employee perspective, see, if you have joined recently, so most of the time, so when I was with Vodafone, I was been given some accounts. Now it's a big hectic for an account manager to find out who are the key persons, who are the influencers, who are the promoters, or who are the people in the top C-suite. How what were the last interaction? It's really difficult to take a handover from the previous employee. But with Salesforce, it is completely there in your system. You can directly start where it was been kept last. If there are any open opportunities where it has been stuck, is there any marketing requirement which has been there? Every details is there for the employees. And you have that app also from where you can fill all the details whenever you are on the field. So it's really easy for the employers as well and the employer to keep track of their business.
Well, Vijaykumar, that's it's interesting to hear your perspective, because I just take these things for granted now. I mean, I could never imagine having to go to another department to get a report or ask for help. I mean, these kind of things would be crippling to my business. And being able to just go and write a quick report and see the data visually and have a graph or have a pie chart or any of these types of tools, I just take for granted. I've enjoyed them for years. But it's interesting to hear your perspective that, that's a bonus to be able to quickly access the analytics and the data. And thank you for sharing that. Well, I hope that, I really hope that you will continue your journey with Salesforce. I think that it'll be interesting to see where you're at in a year with it, and if you're, how it interfaces with your job. And I'd like to, come back to you and have the opportunity to talk with you again and do another one of these sessions with you that we can post up online. And
Sure.
yeah, I mean, it would be great for people to see, kind of get into your life and see what you're doing. At least I'm interested. If one person watches or if 1 million people watch, I'm interested. So I'm always interested in what people are doing, and that's why I like to have my interviews with people. Vijaykumar, thank you so much for taking the time to experience my course. I really appreciate that. It's the reason I write courses. Is to help people such as yourself. I hope you have tremendous success with your career and all your pursuits. And please do reach out to me at any time should you need Salesforce tips, or if you'd like to exchange business ideas.
Thank you to you as well. You're one of the authors which are there on LinkedIn who has responded to a query from a user or a learner like me. So see, for you, there are many learners, there are many users who have gone. There are thousands of people who have taken your course. But then responding to each user is really commendable, because I know that there are a lot of priorities for you. You've been an author. A lot of time goes in writing the content, interacting with relevant people, engaging them in meetings, consulting the businesses. So I'm really thankful to you. You took your time and gave me opportunity and invited me on your YouTube channel. That's really great for me.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Vijaykumar, and thank you for giving me this time and allowing me to learn from
Yeah.
you as
And
well.
yeah, sorry to interrupt, but the last, I definitely recommend, MBA guys or even the people who are there in the organization. There is a lot of time in this COVID situation. Do not waste this time, waiting for, going back to work, doing physical. I can be sure that, the new world will be different, more of a digital. Try to learn more of, the skills, technical skills. Try to get equipped with the knowledge, the trending skills. Salesforce is one of the best.
Thank you so much for joining me. I agree with you, and I'd like to invite you back as soon as you've had some new developments in your career and have some more things to talk about with Salesforce. Let's get back together again and
Sure,
share some other ideas soon. Okay. Thank you
sure,
so
sure.
much, and I hope you have a great day.
Same to you.
Bye bye. Oh, it was very interesting to share ideas with Vijay Kumar, and I really woke up about how I take certain Salesforce features for granted that he pointed out were very important to him, such as the ability to rapidly put together a report without having to check in with another department or wait for a coworker to produce one. Salesforce puts report writing in the hands of the user, and there's a LinkedIn Learning course that I authored, which is called Salesforce Custom Reports, available on the LinkedIn Learning library, which can help you make reports. If Vijay Kumar will accept my invitation, I'll be asking him to return for a follow-up interview in a while to see how his use of Salesforce evolves over time. Now, at this point, let me take a moment to kindly ask you to please click that like button, and if you'd like to stay tuned to additional tips and tricks that I'll be putting out on my channel, please subscribe and click the notification bell. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, you'll find me by looking up the user ID Born to Deal. All my ideas for this channel come from viewers, so I hope you'll take the time to leave a comment. I will reply to as many comments as possible. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I look forward to next time. Go get 'em.